Welcome to the next video in the series of Write the Right Book. So what do you need? Well, you definitely need a journal and a pen, a sheet of A4 paper, the workbook, which is the 50 questions that you got when you signed up. You do not need to print it out. Please don't kill any trees, and get yourself some kind of refreshment. And always, always come with a smile and an open heart and mind. So this is me. My name's Dale Darley. I am a coach, author, writer, and I'm very much an ideas person. I love people giving me messes, problems, things that they can't solve, and I love to find ideas for them. And then for me, it's all about creating a process, letting the process go, and allowing flow to come in. These are the three loves of my life. So we have Ferdy Dog, who's over on the right. He's the first dog that I ever had. They're all rescues. He is 10 years old. Then there's Miley Moo in the middle. She was rescued from Spain on holiday that I once took. And she's 5. And then little Angel I found in the Rambler, and nobody would take her. And she kept looking at me and she went, "You're my mum." So I ended up with 3 very beautiful, very different, but very enchanting animals to spend my life with. And this is where I live, in the peace of the mountains. And it certainly is a very beautiful place to spend my time. I am the author of 6 books. I've written a lot more, but these are the only ones that are currently in publication, and I'm currently writing 4 books. And I want you to just imagine right now, what if you did know what the right book to write right now was? What about knowing who it was for and what it was about and what they're going to get from it? But one of the most important things after we've discovered all of that is how to make it simpler to write. Now, I believe that no matter how many books there are in the marketplace, there is always a space for your book. You are unique, and your take on whatever it is will be completely and utterly different. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we find the core message for our business and our book. We have to go back to our business, because if we don't know what our mission, our vision, and the themes for our business are, how can we possibly know what they are for our book? And then we're going to take a first look at ideal reader, but we're going to look at ideal reader as you, because if we can understand ourselves, we can start to understand our readers. So you have this workbook, which is part of the series, and it's 50 questions to ask yourself before you write a book. And my advice here is to have this perhaps by the side of your bed with a journal and pen, and just start exploring. The more you explore, the clearer you will get. Now, many of you may already have a mission, a vision, and know what your core message for your business is, and you might not. But we're going to go back through a process that assumes that you're right at the very beginning. And I believe that no matter what we already have, when we hear things again, it gives us an opportunity to refine what we have. So our core message is about our business or our life's focus. And these are the first questions that we're going to answer. Now, one of the things I love doing is when I want to answer something, I like to take the word apart and say, well, if I were to spell out that word in a different way, what would it mean to me? And so for me, core is about having open communications which engage our reader or your client. So my core message is have the courage to explore yourself and write your story. It's all about writing and the power of words. So let's look at our mission. So our mission is the first step. Then we're looking at vision and themes. So again, to get to my mission statement, I spelled out what mission meant for me. So I got inspire, soul stories, ignite, open, and nourish. So I am on a mission to inspire you to explore, write and share your soul stories so that you can ignite and inspire others to open their hearts and nourish those that you meet who are on a similar journey with your words. So think about your mission. What is your mission? Your mission is to what? Inspire who? With your soul's what? And what kind of stories? And how will they ignite others? And when you ignite those others, what are you opening their hearts to? And what's that going to nourish for them? So just take a moment to put pen to paper and write out what your mission statement is. You can always refine it later. The next step is looking at our vision. And again, I've spelled the word vision out. I've got values, inspiration, soul story, intention, opportunity, and needs. And I use this in two different ways. I use this in one way for my vision for my business and in a slightly different way for my vision for my book, as you'll see later. So a vision is a picture of what you want in the future. Your vision statement is your inspiration. And it becomes a framework for your strategic planning. So if you think of the having the end in mind, when you think of Covey's steps, always start with the end in mind. Well, the end is your vision. And it helps you to get really close to your dreams and hopes and desires, and it helps you to articulate them. And it answers the question, where do we want to go? But we write it as if it were already true. And this is a problem that a lot of people have, is they often write their vision statement as I'm going to, when actually you always write it if it were true, and then you work your way to it. So we start with values, because values are the foundation of our life and our business. But it's also thinking about, what is the values that you bring, and how do you add value, and how are you valued by other people? We live our lives by our values, and we definitely know when things cross them. If I take my animals, for example, when I see some of the stuff that people do to animals, I know that one of my key values is being crossed. So what are your key values? Just take a moment to consider what the values are. When I work with my clients, I ask them to write 30 key values or 30 words on Post-it notes, and then to group them together, and then to whittle it down to say 8, and then down to 5, and then write, these are my values and why. But to keep all of the words, because when you come to write your book, your values will be spread throughout your book, and you want to express your book based on your values. So all of those words are worth keeping. So if you were to write your vision statement starting based on your values, you might end up with something like this. But that is not a vision statement. It is a starting point. So my next question is, in finding our vision, is where do you draw your inspiration from, and how do you inspire others? We use the well of inspiration to understand and articulate our dreams, desires, and hopes. Everybody has a story. What's your story? We are on a journey with our soul and our soul story, and this will impact our life and our business. But it also impacts others. How does it impact others? So the soul's story and the soul's journey is about lessons, learning, growth. It's about expansion and transformation. Some people set goals, some people set intentions. How do you intend to live your life or run your business? What is your life's intention? Intentions are drivers around what you do and how you live. So ask yourself, how do your intentions drive what you do and how you live? So our intentions are how we focus on what we want and answer the question, where do we want to go? So you can see we're getting closer and closer and closer to being able to articulate our vision statement. Vision opens up opportunities. So what are your opportunities? And remember, the opportunities in the vision are the start of our process for strategic planning. And when we create opportunities around which we have done some planning, we open up the pathway to our vision. But then we need some resources. So what do we need to bring our vision into being? Visions don't just happen. They don't float from above. We have to take some kind of action, and we need to draw on our inner resources, our well of divine inner wisdom. And we need to find those ways that fulfill our needs. So now my invitation is for you to write your value statement, your vision statement, as if. So go back and look at your value statement and then turn it into a vision as if statement. And remember to look at your mission while you're doing it. So I'm running a thriving, successful writers community where people find themselves their voice, have the courage to write their stories and become published authors, who in turn inspire others to change their lives. Now, what you don't know about this, about my vision statement, is my writers community. And if you remember the picture of where I lived, one of the things I'd love to do, which scares the hell out of me, and I don't know how to do it, but the thing is, you don't need to know how, you just have the vision, is I'd love to buy all the old houses up, do them up, and create a physical writers community as well as an online one. So vision statements need to stretch you out of your comfort zone. You don't worry about how you're going to get there. All you need to do is hold that vision statement. And obviously you can turn this then into a vision board and place it somewhere where you can see every day. So once you have the mission and the vision, you can start to plan and create your business strategy. And this is also where we start to think about, how does the book fit in with all of those things? Because your book will be a part of your strategy. And it is very, very much about the right book for right now. You might have lots of books you want to write, but we need to pick the one that fits with that starting point of strategy that is going to take us towards our vision. So let's take a look at themes. Themes are things that run through our lives, and they're all about personal journeys, our soul story. So, for example, some of the themes that I've had in my life, there have been several, but my key ones have been things like anger and frustration. And I've been through a lot of personal development work, found a place of inner peace and contentment. So what does that mean in terms of my business? It means I have a lot of patience. So when people are working with me, I understand their frustrations when perhaps things don't go according to plan. You know, when life just gets in the way. And I've gone from self-hatred to self-love. And that helps me to understand when clients get to that point and they go, who am I to write a book like this? Or who am I to do whatever it is? And those themes have helped me to find who I am. They've helped me to find my voice. They've helped me with my business, which is around writing, coaching, and personal branding. So themes are really, really important in working out stuff not only for what you should be doing around what you love, but also for your book or books. So your themes have a big impact on the way that you live, on your beliefs, your habits, your behaviours. the actions you take, the businesses that you run, the products and services that you create, the clients that you attract, the ones that are right for you, and as I say, the books that you will write. So when you think about your themes and your clients and the book that you're going to write, so this is the book that I'm currently editing, and I'm going on a journey with my soul story. I'm doing a lot of soul searching. I find myself, I create this self-love for myself, and I look at things like relationships and building strong boundaries. But really the big theme is about having the courage to write personal stuff and then share that with the world. So when I look at my clients, they're people who have powerful stories and strong messages. They're people that have been on a big personal growth journey. For me, they're people who get their energy from working with other people, from interacting and communicating. And they're very happy in their own skin. So, of course, when I know this, what do I get? I support others to find themselves through writing and writing books. So you can see how it all starts to really, really fit together. But you might not be writing a personal story. You may or you may not. You might be writing something that's perhaps more of a how-to book. But there's always a theme, a story behind it. So if we take the tech geek, for example, this might have been someone who was flummoxed in school by maths and science, told that they were stupid, and because of that, it held them back and they were full of fear. But through their life's journey, they overcame that fear. They discovered that they loved technology and understanding how things worked. So what they now do is they help others to conquer their fear of technology. So they might write books that help people perhaps to understand how to use Excel or program things, or who knows, there's all kinds of things that people want to understand about technology. And what about our spiritual coach? They might have had a life-threatening illness, told that they would perhaps never recover, and they were filled with sadness and grief. And through their journey, they discovered the root of their grief. They did a lot of personal work and they created a process for recovery. And now what they do is they support others to overcome whatever it might be through some kind of holistic process. So my core message is having the courage to explore, helping you to explore yourself and to write your story. And to get to that, I had to go through a process: mission, vision, core message, and then I'm able to set strategy. And out of strategy will come the right book.